Fashion Besties, do I have a treat for you today? Welcome back to Fashion Crimes Podcast Friday. John, let's get some applause here. We have a very special guest with us today, a very, very big deal. And I am super excited to introduce and announce a new fashion bestie to the Fashion Crimes Podcast. As you know, we love to support women run businesses, small brands, labels, what have you, whether it's clothing or accessories. But my goal here is to make shopping easier and more accessible for all of you listeners out there. And we have a huge treat for you today. I would love to introduce the queen herself, Hali Borenstein from Reformation, CEO, queen extraordinaire. Welcome to the Fashion Crimes Podcast, Hali.
Thank you. So happy to be here.
Of course. So I'm Holly. This is Hali. Don't get it confused. Is Hali short for something?
Nope, it's all just always been Hallie.
Oh, it's always been Hali. Okay, awesome.
Hallie.
Well, we are so excited to have you. Reformation is such an incredible brand. They are sustainable. They are all the things that we are trending now, trying to get people to reuse, relove, and recycle, buy vintage and secondhand, and making sure they have key pieces in their closet that they can really mix and match that are seasonless, depending obviously on where you live, and people that can things that they can build a wardrobe with, because I think that's such a hard thing for midlife for people to really build a wardrobe to figure out who they are now. Can you just tell us a little bit of history about you and how you got started with the brand and what the brand is?
Sure. Okay, so I'll give you a little crash course um, with myself. So I grew up in Miami, and my family's always kind of been associated with apparel, never kind of fashion, more children's apparel, children's pajamas. But early on, I always had that interest, that fashion bug that I was always trying to figure out how I continue in the space. And so went to school, and actually coming out of school, I lived in Atlanta
Oh, nice.
for about 3 years. Yeah, I met my husband in Atlanta. Um, and then we moved over to the West Coast, did a bunch of jobs around California, and then ultimately just met the founder of Reformation when it was a really small company over a decade ago. And at that time, what was so cool about the business was one, we make beautiful, incredible products. But then secondly, the business was really predicated on this idea of how do you protect sustainability in fashion. And a lot of people don't know this, but fashion is actually the second most polluting industry in the world, really after oil and gas. And so there's a lot we need to do if we are going to take this industry forward and really be part of a more circular and better way to still be stylish and chic. But there's a lot of work we have to do in just how we manufacture our product and how we think about the broader ecosystem of apparel. And so that was really intriguing to me early on when I met the founder. I guess for those of you who are not aware, so Reformation, we're predominantly a direct-to-consumer fashion business. We serve customers all across the globe. So about 20% of our sales are outside the US, and then all throughout the United States. We have stores, 51 stores currently, and that's growing every year, lots of new stores. And we sell also through our online presence. So the reformation.com is kind of the bulk of our business. And so we are really focused on offering stylish, on-trend products to customers that really make her feel just beautiful. And what I like to say is we make products by women for women.
Loving that. That is amazing. I love that. Now, I have shopped at Reformation. I am familiar with how the store works. Let's talk about how somebody walks into the store, because it's a little bit different of a business model, and what happens.
So when you walk into the store, there's really two ways to shop. Um, you can either you'll meet an associate, they'll say hello, they'll greet you, and they will have a handheld device in their hands. And they can walk through the store with you and you can pick out which products you want to try on. There's one sample of everything on the floor, and the associate's using that handheld device to kind of build you a dressing room. Alternatively, we have digital methods for you to shop. So we have digital screens all over the store that have the full catalog of everything available in the store. So just like an e-commerce site, you can kind of build your own dressing room. And what we find is you can basically customize this dressing room experience much more intelligently because you actually aren't just like looking for a size and rifling through piles of clothing, but you're really looking at the garment, the styling, the product information to make a better decision. When you're ready, you can click go to the dressing room. Just kind of the way, if you think about an e-commerce site, you build your cart and then you check out. It's very similar, the experience. So you can go to the dressing room, we pull the right sizes for you into your dressing room, and they kind of magically appear. We call it our magic wardrobes that open up from two sides. And in the dressing rooms as well, there's screens, there's small screens where you can get product information, fit information, change your size, ask for help. And so what we find in these stores is our customers have a much better experience overall because they're really getting a chance to get to know our product and our team versus conventionally in a lot of very high volume stores, teams are so busy just trying to do the operational logistic part of kind of a shopping experience. They never really get to build that relationship with you. So that's kind of the reason for doing it. And we're really proud of it. We call it Retail X. It's all technology we've built, and it's in the majority of our 51 stores.
I really want to break this down so people really understand. Think about shopping online in your living room. You got your laptop, in your hand, and you're trying to find a dress. And you're like, I like this dress, but I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what the fabric looks like. Is the color correct? How does it run? This is going to a store and shopping online or not, or shopping in person, but you get to see it, feel it, touch it, and understand what it is before you buy it. And that to me is what that means as a customer is that instead of guessing and grasping at straws and ordering 50 things and sending 48 back, you get to actually go to a store, talk to a real person, or you can be left alone. Am I right? Do you think that is accurate?
Yeah, 100%. Everyone likes to shop differently. And so we really want to be thoughtful of what's the best way to meet the customer and support the customer. And it's interesting, we'll even see it by geography. So there's certain geographies that are like 80% they want to use screens, they don't want to talk to someone. And alternatively, there's geographies where 80% only want people and they don't want the screens. And so we look at that data all the time to make sure we're customizing our teams and our people strategy to really reflect the customer's needs.
I love that because some people are self starters and some people are not. And just me as an example, I shop all the time. I shop for other people. I want to see it, feel it, touch it. My husband keeps threatening that malls are going to go away. And I just don't believe it because I feel like that is something that families can do. People always want to see it, feel it, touch it. Might not be a lot of people, but I think there is still that core group that likes to see it in person and likes to see, or they're harder to fit, so they have to try it on.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, what I think we see with malls is the bad malls go away, but the great malls are actually seeing greater traffic. From everything I can tell this last holiday season, the A malls were on fire.
for sure. For
So I think
sure.
it's more about like when you have the right merchandising, people will definitely go there and it's an experience.
I definitely agree with you 100%. Tell us a little bit about who the target customer is for Reformation.
So what's interesting about the brand is we started out with this core millennial customer. So I'd say women today who are 35 to 45, that was kind of our bread and butter of how we grew up. And um, what we've been very focused on and thankfully very successful at is really expanding that base. So we've grown with that core customer. But now we are also acquiring customers who are age 45 to 55 or beyond. And we're doing a really good job engaging the Gen Z customers, the younger, more emerging customers. And you don't hear a lot of brands who can do that. But I think it's really reflective of who we are and our brand position. We think a lot about ref being kind of a lifestyle, a mindset, not a specific demographic appeal. And you see that in the product. It's very broad. We have a lot of different items in the catalog that fit all different types of occasions, body types, and people. And also, what we like to show on the site is one item can be styled two very different ways to attract two very different customers. So we're really, really excited about how broad the customer base is. Um, I like to tell people if you're curious, just walk into one of our stores, and what you will consistently see is both mom and daughter are shopping together at the brand, and that's not very typical. So it's a good reflection of kind of what we've built.
I totally agree. I've been in your store and I know people that have been in your store. And I think it is a little something for everybody. It doesn't read too young. As somebody who's 51 years old, I dress a little younger, but that's just
You look
because I'm,
great.
yeah, well, thank you. But I understand that intimidation of, is this too young for me? Am I going to look stupid? Are they going to look at me like, why the hell is she here? Is she shopping for her daughter? As opposed to somewhere like Free People, I'm just using that as an example that skews pretty young, definitely teens, 20s, 30s, I think at max. But Reformation has more of I mean, lack of a better word, a more of a ladylike, you could wear a low cut dress but throw a jacket over it, or wear a skirt that's a little bit longer but wear it with really cool tights. I mean, I think that there's just a lot of different ways that someone my age or older could totally, I mean, 100% make it work. That's why when I went in there, and I'm a harsh judge, I did not feel like it was too young. I mean, yeah, y'all have short shorts and things like that, but who doesn't? Everybody does. I mean, you just have to know what your body type is and what looks good on you. So, with that being said, let's talk about the design for a minute. Do you guys have a
Mhm.
large design team? Tell us a little bit about how you work on trends, nod to the trends, your fabrics. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we have kind of a 8 to 10 person design team. They're broken out by category. And so we actually are very focused on, we have a very clear design DNA, a design language that inspires all of our design. So when you look at something, whether it's made 3 years ago or today, there's always some sort of consistent feel and idea to it. The first major per tenet of our design language is really about vintage inspiration. So the brand was actually built out of vintage. And today we still sell vintage across 10, 15 of our stores today. It's a huge part of our DNA. And so often what we'll try to do is look around us, find inspiration of what's going on, but then marry that with some sort of vintage expression. And together that feels really timeless. We're not looking to make just like the trendiest product.
Right.
We want timeless things that are also on trend. And so the combination of those two things is really powerful and kind of what makes our items so specific. The second thing we're really focused on is fit. We really believe we want to complement women's bodies. We're really thoughtful about when we make a product. If the sleeve is, cut a certain way to make sure, it hides the part of a woman's arm that no one wants to show off. And so that's a big part of who we are. We try things on ourselves. I try on almost every product we make. Other people do as well. And so it's this idea of this item needs to fit people differently. And how do we think about the dimensions of the female body and really complement it the best way possible?
I think that is so important as having a line, which, even though you are running this brand, you're not designing. Is that correct?
Right. No
Right.
one
So,
wants me to design.
right. So, you're putting your input into these people's hands like, hey, not everybody's shaped the same. This is important. What was, this neckline worked 4 years ago. Maybe it doesn't work now. I think that that is such a realistic way of designing a line that I think a lot of people miss the mark on that. And so kudos to you for being able to pull that off and pull that off successfully. What's some feedback that people give you? I know you get a ton of positive feedback. Do
Yeah,
you ever get any fit feedback or size inclusivity type of comments, anything like that?
we get tons of feedback. I think the biggest thing we've been really focused on from a feedback perspective is chest size. So a lot of our customers are bigger busted, but some of our designs can be trickier. So, some of our best-selling designs have bust cups, for example, but that's harder to wear if you are a bigger bra size. And so what we have built onto our site to really respond to that is we have something called um, I think it's the bra friendly filter. It's really we otherwise known internally as the boobs filter. And so what we do is we have a ton of focus groups that look at every product and say, hey, is this a kind of item that would be good for a woman who's cup size C and above? And if so, you can kind of push the filter and see what we are offering to those people to make sure it's just more flattering. So that's something, that was a really good example where the customer kind of led us to how do we update our design? How do we change the experience to make it um, just a lot more complimentary to the customer?
Got it. Do you travel overseas to source fabric? I read about your emissions and your really well thought out website, which looks like I mean, it was in tremendous detail on how you guys are trying to really reduce your carbon footprint. What is your input on that? And can you speak to like the denim and the treatment and the cashmere and things like that that you guys are working on?
Yeah, so I think first and foremost, it's important to note like we don't think customers are willing to trade off style and sustainability. It's not like customers are willing to like buy ugly things because it's sustainable, and that we don't ask them to. First and foremost, we want to make beautiful products for our customers. We then will, in the background, make sure we are offering these amazing designs with more sustainable solutions. So that's everything like what you're saying. Our cashmere, which I think is arguably the best cashmere in the world, is actually 95% recycled cashmere. And you wouldn't know that. We're letting you know at the end, but when you're upfront trying on the product, you just think it's beautiful cashmere. And so that's kind of our strategy for sustainability. It's how do we do better than the conventional offerings out there, but how do we not make it the only reason someone buys it?
And
One of our slogans is, um, oh, hold on, I have to remember it. You're gonna have to cut this out.
it's fine.
Anne Marie, give me it. It's Monday morning.
You're totally fine. Are you thinking of
Hot, yeah.
you as soon as like one person like has a brain fart, everybody does. You're thinking of like being naked is the most
No,
sustainable.
the other
Oh,
one.
that's right. I saw that on your website too.
The the
You know what else you're thinking
the
of? Hold on, I'll pull it out.
well, no, we make people look killer without killing the environment. Is that it? I'm butchering it.
Mm, That one, if that is one, it precedes my time. That does not ring a bell.
All right. Well,
Let's keep moving. Well, Holly, I'll come back to
No
you and you can
problem.
look
No
something
problem.
over if there's another one there.
It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. We'll put it in the show notes. It's fine. Um,
okay.
yeah, but I did see that, and I love like on your website where you're talking about your shoes, and it's like we want to touch your feet. I think that's funny.
Yeah.
That's cute. So
Well, that's part of the brand too. Like we have a brand personality, and I think that's something that's super special about the brand. It's funny, it's snarky, it's sexy, but it's also smart in terms of the sustainability stuff.
and so let's talk about price for a minute. Fashion besties are very price conscious, as I think most people are. Can you tell us just give us a general price range. Let's talk about a cashmere sweater to a dress. Let's
Yep.
talk about some prices.
So our pricing strategy is really all about value. It's not to have a certain price. We want to make sure every item we give and we offer is at a really good price. So you'll see everything from like a $28 t-shirt to an $800 wedding gown.
Wow.
For the cashmere, for example, we actually do have a pretty broad range. We do everything from $168 for a cashmere sweater to a much more built out, developed cashmere sweater is probably around $398. So it's a really wide range, and it's really reflective of all of the make that goes into the garment so that the customer understands what they're getting and what they're paying for.
And I love that you said that. They understand what they're getting and why it costs what it costs. I think that's the biggest disconnect when people don't like to shop, and I'm using air quotes here, which is a lot of what I've heard from feedback and clients. It's too intimidating. If you don't shop, for clothes, if you shop for clothes once a year because you have to, you don't know and you don't understand why things cost what they cost. And it doesn't mean you have to spend $300 on a pair of pants, but it does mean there is a difference between a pair of $30 pants and a pair of $300 pants. And there's a reason why. So I appreciate the
Sure.
fact that you guys explain it and you try to teach the customer and make them understand this is the value that you're getting. You're going to have this and I'm putting words in your mouth. You're going to have this cashmere sweater for 10 years, if not more.
Yep. Completely.
So I totally get that. Let's move on to what do you guys see where do you see the brand going? You've got 51 stores. I mean, obviously in different parts of the country, they need different things because of the weather. You don't, you're not selling in Minnesota what you're selling in Florida. So tell us the future of and some projects that you guys are working on.
Absolutely. So there's a couple of major areas of focus. The first you kind of hit right on is just retail expansion. So this year we opened about 10 stores. Next year we're on track to almost 15 stores. And the reason we love retail so much is it's an opportunity for our customers to touch and feel the product and get to know us. And so we're really focused on continuing to build out stores both within the US and outside the US in Canada and Europe. A second piece we're really focused on is category expansion. So we launched shoes in 2021. I don't know if you've tried them yet. They're amazing. They're growing like crazy. So really trying to double down on that business as well as handbags. We launched that in 2023. And so that's been super successful for us as well. So category expansion and really trying to broaden both within the apparel business, but also to the accessory side of the business. And then the last piece that we are really excited about is just international expansion. The brand resonates really well with international customers, particularly in Europe, where sustainability really matters and design sensibility is just so important. And so we've seen really positive reception from customers. It's been very organic to date. And so we're just starting to more deliberately bring product to market there. And so those three things are keeping us really busy these days, but we're excited about where we're headed.
I love that. And so handbags, let's talk about that for a minute. Is that being made in your regular factories? Are you getting Italian made handbags? Where are those being produced?
We make our handbags both in Italy and Bulgaria,
Nice.
but it's Italian-based materials. Um, it's they're really fun. I'd say our approach to handbags is a bit more about like classic, but classic pieces you can wear over time, but still with some sort of really unique and distinct design detail. Right now, what we're seeing is a ton of brown suede. It's everywhere.
Hmm.
And so all of our top bags are brown suede and they're so cute. I actually wear mine every day.
I love that. What's the bag? I know you don't work in trends, but what are some of your top selling bags? Are they bigger totes? Are they smaller? Because I know the mini bag was in and now it's out again. Can you school us on that a little bit?
We actually have our two, it's very interesting. Our top bag and our number two bag are actually one small, one's big. So there's definitely breadth there. Um, I think the tote is coming back for sure. And so excited to see how that plays out. These classic shapes where the materials are really highlighted, some small details that make it distinct from just like a basic tote is where I
Hmm.
think things are headed.
Is it considered a bag that you could wear to work? Like, can your laptop fit in it? Things like that. Maybe your lunch. Is that a
Yeah,
bigger tote?
exactly. Yeah, more of a statement pieces. I think the row kind of started this trend for everyone. And so I think we'll see lots more of evolution in this area.
And what brands do people like to compare you to? Like, give us a Reformation adjacent brand.
Because our customer is so broad and our catalog of products so broad, I don't think there's just one brand. When you actually, we survey our customers for this, and it's the funniest looking graph because what you'll see is like vintage is the biggest overlap or major department stores. So Nordstrom's of the world, Net-a-Porter's of the world, we see a lot of overlap with. I think if you're thinking like for like brand, um, it's broad. I think you'll see everything from Free People in the Aritzia all the way to Veronica Beard and Alison Olivia. Doen is another one that you'll see a lot of overlap with as well. And so I think it's when you look at just the competitive set, it's just another reason that kind of supports the fact that we are doing a lot of things that are very different for different people.
And I think it's important that something like a handbag, which is a big concern, I think, for people going through the shift. Who am I now? My kids are out of the house. Maybe I'm going back to work. How much money should I really spend on a bag? And
Yeah.
a brand like yours, people can sort of dip into, hey, this is not, excuse me, a Chanel bag, but this is a real Italian leather made bag. Like, this is a nice bag. And maybe it's $300, maybe it's $500, but it's not the sticker shock and the stomach punch of a high
Yeah.
end designer bag where you're not really sure if, or you're going to baby it, right? And you're never going to use it. And beautiful things are made to be worn. So I appreciate the level of quality being made, in a decent factory that has a decent product that can last you for a really long time, but it doesn't kill you with the price. I mean, that's always the hardest thing. So definitely, if y'all are
For
interested
sure.
in getting a new bag, hit up reformation.com for sure. The stores, where are your newest stores?
Oh, we're popping up everywhere. So we have a store that just opened in Denver. We just opened in North Park Mall in Dallas. We just opened in Tampa, in the Hyde Park Center. Um, we are opening another store in Avalon, and that's coming in spring of
Wow.
2025. So that's exciting. We opened Charleston, and that's been unbelievable. We love the Charleston customer.
I love that. I just did a huge series on a bunch of stores in Charleston. So the shopping, people come
Such a
from all
great
over.
market.
Say again.
So cute.
Yeah, I love Charleston. It's a great city and it's a great restaurant. It's great weather. Great, 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 great. Atlanta's great too. We're in the same vein, but we're trying to catch up a little bit,
Yeah,
We have the high-end shopping and then we have boutique shopping, but Atlanta is not walkable. That's what's so hard about Atlanta. You lived here, is that, you just have to go to different neighborhoods.
but it's
So
evolving so much from when I lived there. I mean, Ponce City wasn't there when I lived there, and we now have a store in Ponce, and that's such a cool center.
it's very cool. It's very food hall based, and it's
Yes,
awesome in the summer. But the stores are always changing. That's the thing about Atlanta. You just don't know what's going to be on the next corner. It
right.
just really depends. I want to know, how big is your wardrobe? Do you have a closet that has been a bedroom converted into a closet? And how do you get dressed every day? Are you working from home? Are you traveling? Can you give us some pointers on, maybe some outfit formulas for you from Reformation that have worked really well?
Well, so I do have a big closet, but I do have a rule for myself. Every time I buy something, I have to donate something or sell something.
Love
So
that.
I'm not increasing it forever. Um, And I also, every 6 months, I go through my closet. If I haven't worn something in 12 months, it has to go. Unless it's like a piece I'm going to treasure forever, but something that like, I don't believe I should just be getting more and more stuff. I think it should be, even though I have access to clothing all the time, you should really treasure your pieces and wear them. So I try to be very thoughtful about just not having too much stuff. When I think about getting dressed in the morning, I tend to pick a piece that will be the kind of the focus of the outfit and then build around it. So for me, whether it's like a great sweater I want to highlight or a pair of shoes, that's always easiest for me to start with one piece versus an entire look and then go from there. I actually, I tell our team this, but I use our site often for styling advice. Our
Wow.
site has incredible stylists. And so just for inspiration, sometimes I'll go on and say, oh my God, I love the way we paired that with that, or that's cool. I can do something like this. So I advise everyone to take a look just for styling advice alone.
I love that. And so it's important, obviously you're a busy mom and you are in high demand and you're working all the time. I think people get very overwhelmed with if they haven't cleaned out their closet in a long time. I mean, most people aren't disciplined like you are. So let's just talk about the average person who needs a new whatever, who needs new sweaters, new jeans, new denim. What are your top three wardrobe go-tos that everybody needs or should have in their wardrobe?
I'd say, I think one's just a beautiful black blazer.
Okay.
Everyone needs a great black blazer you can wear over everything. Um, One pair of just amazing pumps that kind of dress up an outfit. Because I think pumps you can wear are seasonless. You wear, and I love kind of wearing them with different looks. You can kind of make them classic. You can make it a little bit more sexy and edgy. Um, and then I think everyone needs just like the perfect pair of jeans. For me, they tend to be a little bit more wide leg, whether it be flare, whether it be straight wide leg. I think those are kind of your own choice. But I do think ever having those one go-to pair of jeans that you love, that you feel great in day to night, is really important.
I think jeans are tough too. Jeans are almost as difficult as a bathing suit because people love it or they hate it. And if they try it and they don't succeed, it just depends. And I think that is so hard to fit our jeans. And when you find a pair you really like, go for it and get them in a bunch of
Get as
different
every
colors.
wash you can get.
Yeah, for sure. Do you love the denim that you have from Reformation?
It's funny. I buy a lot of denim just to compare. I still think genuinely we have amazing denim. The only other denim I really buy as a customer is I love vintage Levi's too,
Hmm.
because I think they offer something that just nothing new can. But from a new perspective, I've tried really high-end denim. I've tried kind of the commercial denim. I think our denim is the best fitting, particularly for non-stretch or minimal stretch. So I personally don't wear a ton of stretch in my denim, and so I think our product offering is really, really wonderful and superior. I'm excited about it,
I'll
and the
have to
customers
try.
think so too. Our customers come back for every wash of the top styles. Right now, the Val and the Carry are the best-selling denim pieces. We also do a lot of denim dresses, which I think is pretty unique in the marketplace. There's a dress right now called the Tagliatelle denim dress that's amazing that everyone should try as well.
Oh, I have to try that. That sounds really cute.
It's
I
really
love it.
cute.
I love a denim moment. I love a denim dress. What I really loved on your site, that I'm manifesting for myself are those leopard boots. Um,
So cute, right?
Loving those. And I love the lower heel. Ugh, thank you, ev- the Lord, Jesus, Allah, the universe, for a lower heel. Because again, even though I used to wear 4 inch heels, that ain't happening so much anymore. So I'm loving a 3 inch heel, a 2 inch heel, because it still gives you that same elevated look, especially. I think you're tall. I would just say, just from looking at you, I'm in the short girl club. So, with that, it's hard because the world is not made for short people. And I get complaints all the time, especially like one of my sisters is like, "Why are jeans made so long?" I said, "Because nobody is short. It is hard to be short in this world. Clothes are made for tall people because we can cut, we can hem them. Tall people can't do that." So
We also sell petite clothing at Ref. If you go to the site, there's a whole petites line. So all of our top sellers come in petite length, mostly for dresses and skirts. So we do the hemming for you there.
I am loving this journey for us. This has been so incredible. I could talk to you for hours. I want to give a shout out to your sister Dana for connecting us because she
Yeah.
told me about you. We met, became friends. She told me about you. You were kind enough to come on the show. I'm so grateful to you and for your time. And for those of us who aren't familiar, this is called Jewish geography. Okay, people. So, I know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. So that is in our favor today with Miss Hali Borenstein from Reformation. Can you leave us with a closing thought? It could be a mantra or something that you live by or something that motivates you every day.
Ooh, that's a lot of pressure.
Well, I'll just tell you mine. Mine is
Go ahead.
if you don't evolve your style, your image can hold you back and you're stuck. So if you look the same as you did 15 years ago, that's not necessarily a good thing. You want to evolve and grow because it's like you're not wearing the same clothes that you wore 20 years ago, even if you are the same size. You need to evolve your style to who you are today, whatever that means for you. So that's a big one for me, but that's what I like
Yeah.
to say.
I think from a fashion sense, for me, it's about just having fun with it too. Fashion shouldn't be so serious.
I agree.
And it could be a really fun part of your day, um, and something to be playful with. So I hope people do, look at Ref and other sites. I hope people, when they shop, get joy enjoyment out of it, and it can be a creative outlet as well.
All right, y'all heard that, Atlanta people. So it's in Ponce,
Mhm.
which is great. And it's also coming to the Avalon, which is a suburb of Atlanta, and Alpharetta, which is a very hot shopping area here in the Southeast. And Hallie, I'm so grateful to meet you. I'm so happy that we're best friends now. I'm so
Mhm.
excited to meet you and to know a little bit more about the brand. We are going to be able to let our listeners know, how do we find you? How do we find Reformation? Can you give us the socials and the website?
Yeah, I mean, definitely follow us on Instagram, TikTok, at Reformation. We have great content, so it's a fun follow. And then always come to www.thereformation.com. You'll get all of our newest product. We go live twice a week with new product on Mondays and Thursdays. So definitely come check it out.
That is fantastic. I will be checking it out. I only have one thing, sorry, disclaimer, from Reformation. It's a dress that I really love. It was from a couple seasons ago, but I wear it all the time in the summer. It's super cute. But I'm definitely getting those leopard boots. I'm going to try your denim and I'm going to see what else y'all
Amazing.
have going on right now, especially for holiday. I have a couple of nieces that I can buy for. So that's very exciting. Y'all check it out. Reformation.com. Check out Hallie. Go on their Instagram, go on their TikTok, and make sure you see what they're doing and you see their product and try their product because we love women owned businesses and women owned brands. We love to support, we are women supporting women. So thank you so very much for your time, Hallie. I hope that you'll come back and tell us what's going on for spring. That would really be amazing if you could do that for us. And we are so happy to have you. Thank you so much for listening to the Fashion Crimes podcast. I'm the only Holly you need to know. Now, this is the only Hallie you need to know, Hali. I'm the only Holly you need to know because I used to say, people always go, "Oh, I have another friend named Holly." I'm like, I don't like that. I should be the only Holly you need to know. And y'all have a fabulous, fashionable week. Give me some feedback. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've already tried Reformation. Let me know if you're going to try it. And then we can have a little comparison and then give us, we can have a Fashion Crimes Podcast Reformation little day. And so we can know exactly what you like and what you don't like. And we want to support Reformation. That's really what we want to do. So thank you so much for joining us. We will have you back. Happy December, everybody. We have a lot of great things coming up. We've got some Hanukkah gift ideas. We've got some Christmas gift ideas. So tune in and we will catch y'all on the flip. Bye.